this homepage. As you can see, I'm still demoing this from my local machine. I'm yet to get this to the demo site. But okay, so one of the other things as you review this is you will notice a couple of differences between the site and the drawn up mockup. One of those got to realize is some differences between the print version and the web version. For example, one of them you'll note on the spacing that was given between these menu links. In the print version, the home link is somewhere here, but because of web standards, many of these links are considered to really just leave a healthy space between them and the main logo there. The donate button, the volunteer button, or the volunteer link that the client recently, this was one of the changes. Okay, so when we go down, the four things we do, of course, there's also a difference in this section from the mockup. One, this is now actual content that the client shared, and the other is also the icons. Now, because many from the explanation, if you take time to read through the four things the client does, many of them around community groups, so that's why I decided to stick with a sort of group icon. Depending on the feedback, we could make this to be unique for every one of those sections. Then from there we have our story. So one of the things the client requested for is we just capture a paragraph or two and then have a read more, and the plan is this will lead to another page. Then our team, you'll also notice a difference this section from what is in the mockup. For one, these are captions, the names down here used. You'll notice that in the mockup, there's sort of the would-be captions are captured in a red background, sort of a box down there. Because of how the web is, that would necessitate the client to send photos which already have, for example, like this gentleman, it would necessitate a photo which already has that his name's already in that sort of red background, and it's one photograph. Because when I tried to do this in particularly Elementor, it turned out to be one of a kind. So these are captions. Depending on the feedback, we might revise that, but it requires the client sending in better pictures, because one of the other tasks I got involved in and why this took slightly a bit more time than planned, many of these photos, in fact, the photos were not matching, the sizes and the like. The quality was good, but the sizes mostly, I had to work on that. So to make all of them a 1440 by 1440, so all of them are square, and that is why you might notice they look proportional. Then also the difference from the mockup captured the would-be scroll points to be up here. Again, quite an uphill one for the web, because when you have such a widget, in order to scroll it, it's all one thing. So it's even if there were arrows besides, it require a lot more styling to get those arrows to be really outside of the photos. So yeah, that is about the team, our team. Also about the team, if you revise the document that the client shared, there are more people as the entire team, but the people captured in this section are particularly those who are under the title our team. some of the photos sent in are for people who are on the national committee. From my judgment, I added only people under our team because I felt there's a reason why that was split. Then our numbers, this was also a new one, a new change. Previously here we had a big section that would capture conferences. So client preferred that we reflect a few numbers, and a button here would take us to the page where they could share more about those numbers. These are not in any particular order, the numbers particularly. I just captured them in a way that the largest number is reflected at the end here. And then also, this was part of the not very recent feedback, but the client had wanted this background to be gray, which is there. The donate button, of course, eventually going to the donate page. Our partners, I figured, since also the mockup just had our logo as Kanzu code, just figured to bring in a contrasting one. But more importantly to note is the client said they would share more logos, so these are placeholders there. Then straight to latest news. Still, you notice this is a placeholder. From what the client shared, this will likely get developed to become a post widget, which automatically queries and fetches posts that are from whatever page where the client puts their post. So that is why the idea here, you would have this picture, and the picture of course being auto-generated from where it is pulled, and the post showing a certain date when it was filled in, and thus that is why it is latest news. So definitely also this differs a bit from the mockup. Mockup was more fancy in its design of this, but because I figured this would eventually just fetch articles or posts, I felt it wise not to spend a lot of time designing and adding in things that will probably be refactored as soon as possible. Then down to the footer, but also you'll notice a difference. At this point, the mockup has mimicked Facebook, Twitter, and a square which is empty. It didn't make so much logic to me. So as placeholders, but not that much, I decided to bring in just these icons, because from what the client shared, they literally have pages, or they are present on all these four sites. The client provided their, what you could call, the usernames or the names they use on the different platforms. But I think after this demo, after the first demo though, once they provide links, then these will specifically be linked to the different sites. Okay, so thank you so much. This is it for the home page really.